This is part 3 of our 3-part series on vlog number 9. Again, I'm here with Deb Epstein, with Trisha Kundry, and Michelle Epstein, and we're having a great conversation about how to deal with life in COVID. We were just talking about alcohol, making sure we get everything back into balance.
Can I ask Deborah a question?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're coming up to the holidays.
Right.
Hanukkah, Christmas, and it's gonna look very different this year. And I think it's getting very serious. How do we deal with it as adults and for our kids that we can't be with our families? I'm really struggling with this. I can't be with my mom. We can't have a big family gathering. How do you make it okay for yourself and for your kids? How do we start to do that? Not that you have the answers, but let's start to mentally prepare how to help each other get through this time.
First of all, we got to cry it out. We do. We just have to be sad and allow ourselves to be sad about that, and just sit in the pain of that, because it is painful. And if we try and just brush that away, it's going to come back and bite us.
So buy stocking Kleenex.
It's just going to come back and bite us somewhere else. So we need to cry for a little bit and maybe cry together on Zoom or whatever we need to do. I think there are ways to be creative around it. I think lots of families are doing, Zoom rooms or something where everyone can see each other, making the best of, ordering things from small businesses, where they can be delivered, or where you can drop them off and have a special, oh, this is so fun, Auntie Michelle dropped this off for me or whatever, so that it still gets celebrated. And taking advantage of the fact that if we're lucky enough to have family around us, our own families, our nuclear families, that we just celebrate together and we make that as special as we can. Well, and again, sort of getting creative, I think, around that.
Yeah, again, the pop buys are not pop buys, pop buys are still allowed, right? So you can still. I was a child that came out. You can still pop by someone's house and still at least stand, from down at the bottom of the steps or the front porch, and they'll at least say hi, drop something off. Which I think the pop-by aspect of this is going to become quite huge now moving forward over this time of year, because you have that ability to go and do that. So whether you're dropping off a gift or just come by, just to even say hi and wish someone Happy Hanukkah or Merry Christmas or whatever the holiday you might be celebrating, or Happy New Year or whatever is going to come up. Yeah, no, but I know,
don't even go. Get on your favorite sequin dress and have a party in your own house with your own.
Over Zoom.
I also think it's an amazing time to go back to things that we might not have done in a really long time, like writing a card to somebody and sending it. Which I don't know if you've done that. I haven't done that in a really long time. But there might be things you want to say to your loved ones at the holiday time. Pick up a pen.
Right.
I don't know the last time you've done that, but it might, we have to, I think, get a little creative.
I like the idea of putting on the sequin dress and make it a celebration, food and drink and all that. It's all part of the holiday celebration, no matter what your religion or culture. Yeah. So make it happen in your house, and whatever that looks like for you. Like in my house, I love to do a nice fancy dinner. My family doesn't always love it, but we've decided this year we're doing it. It's going to be fun. We're going to make the best of it. We're all going to dress up. We're going to have candles on the table, and we're going to celebrate that Christmas dinner, regardless of the fact that it's just the 4 of us, not the 14 of us that we normally would be. So to your point, you just have to kind of make the decision and do it, and try to make it fun. And you know what? My teenagers grumble about it, but when they actually get it down and do it, they love it, and they have fun, and they have a smile on their face.
And they'll remember it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing, too. They're going to remember this, so we're going to get through this together, and at the end of it, we're going to have all these crazy memories. We lived through this. I tell my kids, we are living history.
That's right. Yeah.
It's very exciting, and we're going to get through it.
You'll be able to tell your grandkids about this.
Yeah. Remember when. Yeah. So that's a part of it, too. But just because I have to mentally get excited for them. I have to, because I can't fake it. It's hard to fake it for them. Yeah. So it's I have to get to the point where I can be okay for them. So,
but it's also to see you sad, right? For you to cry and just say, I'm really sad that I'm not going to see my mom, and I'm really sad that we're not all going to be together. That makes me really sad, and it's really okay for your kids to see you that way. It's actually really important for your kids to see you, because they're feeling the same thing.
For sure.
And for us to put on this tough outer shell, oh no, it's fine, rah rah, doesn't really give them the allowance to be I don't feel rah-rah. I feel sad that I'm not going to see my cousins, or I'm not going to get to give my grandmother a hug, or whatever it is. So I think we just, our kids need to see us sad.
And I think it goes back to the point, and I keep going back to the exercise part because I think it's important, but it's not really even so much exercise. It's a mental way to clear your mind and clear your space. And, like, depending on how old your kids are, if you can get out of the house and leave the kids behind to fend for themselves and go for a walk, right? I don't care if it's just like, walking around the block, but I think that's all gonna come in so important to have that time where you can just separate, step back, let everything decompress, flush it out, and then be able to walk back in the door and then come back in and be recharged, be able to go deal with whatever's going on at the home at that point in time.
And it also sets an example for your kids that movement is necessary, that movement
Huge.
is good.
Yeah.
Whether you do it together or on your own. I find I have to do it on my own. It's my own mental break. But it sets an example for my kids about how important it is to me and my mental health. And they understand, obviously, because I'm a fitness professional, how important fitness is for them and for me, for them to do it. So setting that example for your kids as well is so important.
Huge. But it's the exercise, it's the eating right, it's the psychological part of having, to deal with both your spouse and your kids at the same time, right? Because
your spouse.
Right? Like, that's all part and parcel, right? Because for the first time in our lives, we have probably spent more time together than we ever will probably in the prior to and after. Totally. It's a real, this is a real testament to how strong relationships are because of the amount of time that you are actually spending together in such enclosed environments. And
I think if you're lucky, right? I think for those of us where that is the case, you recognize how lucky you are to be in that situation. There are lots of people who are
I was just going to bring that up.
Who are actually learning something really different about themselves and about their relationship.
For sure, because I was just going to say, because we're lucky, we live in houses and we got space, but for people who are living in small condos or or just live alone. Yeah, the loan
or with roommates that are not family members, and you have to negotiate all of that stuff. Different feelings about COVID, feeling isolated, young adults. Oh my God, it is a whole other
conversation.
Yeah.
But look, I think we're blessed, in that we're standing here and we have our health and we're and we are able to deal with this both from a mental standpoint and and be able to get through it. But I think the advice that we can give out to people at this point is so hugely important. And I think the more that we can have these open discussions, I think it's just going to be beneficial for everybody else. So because we're getting short on time, I just want to wrap this up real quick. And I want to say so for Michelle, if anybody wants to contact you, reach out to you, follow along, where do they go?
At LFitnessTO on Instagram or L On Demand. L On Demand if you want some really fun workouts. But there's so many online options out there, and I know we're all getting sick of working out in our homes. So again, figure out what works for you, what makes you happy, what gives you joy, and otherwise, L On Demand.
What a great Christmas present we give you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mark.
Holiday experience, right? Trisha?
Gift of health. The best way to reach me is through my website, which is thehealthydish.ca.
Perfect.
That's probably the best way to go.
And Deb?
Deborah at depsteintherapy.com is my email address.
Perfect. Ladies, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Be safe, be well, have a fantastic holiday season, stay healthy, don't eat too much sugar, exercise,
Try something
do some cooking at home.
and be miserable. Be miserable a little bit so
Cry
you
a
can
little.
be happy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And hopefully we can do this all again soon and come up with some new ideas and new subjects we can talk about for everybody else that's watching out there.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. So if you want more information, make sure you follow us along on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Otherwise, stay well, be well, stay safe. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.